How you doing, guys? It's review time, and today we're going to do the A52 5G. As a matter of fact, we're revisiting this phone. This is one of the first videos I actually did on the channel. It was a little new. I figured let's talk about it a year later, especially given the fact that the A53 5G is right around the corner. And I got to be honest with you, if we're talking specs, it is not worth the asking price, and they actually lowered some specifications for that phone. So without further ado, let's hop right into this one and see. This is worth purchasing. All right, guys, well, first things first, let's see what comes inside the box. I already have the phone taken out because I'm personally using it. You do get your chargers as usual, nothing special, it's just a 15-watt basic charger. This one right here is USB-C to USB-A, but I actually use a 25-watt fast charger because it supports faster speeds. So let's just keep that in mind while we're talking about this video. On the other hand, this is the A52 5G right here. Love the design of this phone. I always liked it when it first came out. I was kind of surprised that they actually brought something out with this type of premium build. I consider this premium when given the fact that when you look at other Samsung devices that they're not even using necessarily glass, but it's like a glass-stick design. This seems perfectly fine to me, especially for someone around that $500 price range where it doesn't feel like you're using an extremely cheap phone. But anywho, let me not stop rambling. Let's talk some specs. We have an IP67 water resistant screen. So if we're talking about how long it could take water on the device, I believe it's about a minute and 30. I want to say a minute and 30. I forget the exact time, but just make sure this isn't a phone that you're going to go swimming with. Let's put it that way. I personally don't do any type of water resistant test because I like my devices to continue working. I know it says that it can take hits to water, but that's not something that I'm willing to test out personally. Gorilla Glass 5. You do have that. You have a Super AMOLED 120 hertz screen. So for those that are unaware of what 120 hertz is, it's the sharpness of the phone itself, which the 120 hertz does play into applications also. So keep in mind, some applications might run a little bit faster, some might run a little slower because it's trying to keep up with the refresh rate of 120 hertz. 800 nits is the brightest the screen can get. Now, what I will say is the screen is relatively bright. Now, I currently have it on about, I'll say about less than half. Let me brighten it up just for video's sake. It's not fully brightened. Actually, you know what? Let's fully brighten it so you guys can see that in real time. There we go. Well, it's almost fully brightened. So it does have a pretty bright screen. It does very well in sunlight. Sharp screen, like I said. We have the 1080 by 2400. So if we're talking about the ratio of the screen is 20 by 9. And the PPI is 407 for those that are interested in knowing that. And of course, this is a 6.5 inch screen. I know a lot of the bigger Galaxies are 6.7, but it's still a healthy screen with the little, I forget what this notch is called, hole punch notch. There we go. Now, this phone also ships with Android 11, just so you know, but it is upgradable to Android 12, which I do currently have the software on Android 12. So I can't say that, let's say you purchase a device. I got mine under Metro by T-Mobile, so the prices varied. And I did have to actually go to the settings and manually do the update myself to Android 12. I don't know if they ship with it now that way, but it will give you 3 years worth of software updates. So if the phone released in 2021, add 3 years to that, to about 2024 is when the actual official updates will stop. So that's another reason why this phone is worth purchasing, because you're going to get more than just one measly iOS update like a lot of these other budget devices. We also have the Snapdragon 750G inside this phone. 750G 5G. Correction, let me get that right. You're working with 128 gigabytes and 6 gigs of RAM. Now, granted, there are different variations of this particular device, but this one right here actually just does the strictly 6 gigs of RAM because it's the US version and it's sold by AT&T. It's sold, I want to say Cricket Wireless. They have it. Metro by T-Mobile, which is the one that I currently have. I'm not sure if it says it on the top corner. It doesn't, but this is a Metro by T-Mobile device, in case you're wondering. So far, the front camera is 32 gigabytes. Records in 4K, 30 frames, also 1080p, 30 frames for the front screen. Now, if we switch it over to the back, which these are the main shooters right here, these 4 cameras, we have the 64 megapixel the 12 ultra wide. I believe this is the 5 macro and this is the 5 def. It's one of the two. And of course, you have your flash right here. So you do have a pretty decent camera on this device. Originally, I was doing YouTube videos on this phone originally, but after a while, I realized with the processing speeds and certain things that I wanted to do, I did need a higher end phone for strictly camera purposes. It was really draining my phone. So if you're one of those people where you use your phone for everything, it doesn't matter whether you have an iPhone or Android, you're going to run your phone down regardless. So just be aware of that you will need this thing hooked into a charger a lot if you're doing editing and video editing and splicing and just whatever it is that you're trying to do, if it's for photography reasons or productivity reasons. That's another reason why you need the 25-watt charging, which we'll get to that in a second. In addition to that, this has 5.0 Bluetooth. Of course, it has NFC, Samsung Pay. Let me see if I can pull that up. Actually, I forgot how to pull it up. Hold up. Let's see if I can. Nope, I don't remember. But this does have the Samsung Pay. It does have the option to have notifications pop up on the side of your screen, which I did turn that off. It's a pretty good, decent device. Like, it's a Samsung device. Also, I do have a little more tech specs to talk about, but let's take a look at the phone for a moment. You have your USB-C charger on the bottom, headphone jack, of course. The A53 will not have a headphone jack, but the A52 5G will. It still does. Your SIM tray is up top, and it does take an SD card. I believe up to 500 gigabytes. I could be wrong about that, but I personally carry a 256. I have to try to see how high it actually goes. What else do we have here? Not much else. 4500 battery, which the new A53 5G is going to have, I think, like a 48 or something. Now, what differs between this phone and the A53 5G is that this bad boy, even though it comes with a 15-watt charger in the box, most people use whatever it comes with, which isn't the smartest thing sometimes, because if a phone is capable of higher charging speeds, you're going to want to try that out. This bad boy can use the 25-watt charger, same as the S21 or the S20. Well, I can't say S22 because that hasn't been, I don't know the tech specs for that one yet, but the S21 also used a 25-watt charger. This will charge your phone 50% in 30 minutes. Very similar to an Apple device, and even if you're using the device in real time as it's charging, it will still charge your device up, which is what I like about devices. Not saying that you should, but realistically, a lot of people do use their phones while it's on the charger, and it is possible, and it'll still have decent charging speeds. The A53 5G, unfortunately, is only going to have the 15-watt fast charger, which I don't know why they would do that. I'm assuming, like I said this in another video, but I'm assuming that what's happening is that some of these devices the mid-tier devices are getting so good that, to be honest, you don't need a high-end device unless you're doing high-end productivity. You're actually using your phone. Now, I'm one of those people right here where I do like high-end devices, primarily because I play a lot of games, applications, and things like that. But on the other hand, I understand that $900, $800, $700 for a phone is a lot. Now, this is what price is this bad boy? Now, this is normally $499, but the difference is that I actually got the device for $199 under Metro by T-Mobile. I paid the first month plan and all that stuff, so it's probably like $270 something with the first month insurance, the phone, everything included, and that's a new account. So you have to understand, if you're one of those people where if you're porting from a different carrier, I believe this phone is $99 as a port. So it definitely does vary. So here's Call of Duty Mobile. For those that wanted to see how a game works on this, I am just going to play this for a few seconds. Let me just change the setting. All right. Just give you guys an idea that games do work on it. Now, granted, the reason it's laggy is because I've been testing his phone out, and I did put this. It does have the option to put the graphics above high. I know iPhones, I think, are very high or max, whatever the setting is. So I tend to do that just so, oh gosh, try to get a good angle. I need to be able to see it myself. Is there an enemy? I don't see anything. So anyway, you can see that the phone is, that's the thing, that the phone is moving fairly smooth, as you can see. Call of Duty Mobile, NBA, 2K, games like that will work just fine on this particular device. And I will say that you will have a good gaming experience. Though certain games like Genshin Impact, you play Pokemon while I'm talking to you guys, so though games like Genshin Impact You might have to lower the settings. You are going to experience lag. There's nothing you can do about that because, it's a Snapdragon 750G, 5G. And as games keep coming out with updates and more updates, some of the requirements for some of these games require a lot of power. So your phone might get a little bit warm. It all depends on, how you decide to use your phone. So this is actually how Pokemon Go looks. And if you notice how smooth it is spinning, that's because of the 120 hertz screen. A higher hertz screen does make a difference on your performance of how these, excellent throw, of how these games will perform. So with that being said, I'm not trying to make this video super long. This is kind of like an update video to the old one that I did. One of the reasons I say that this phone is more ideal than the A53. Now, the A53 is going to probably have a slightly better processor if we're being completely honest with ourselves. And outside of that, spec-wise, at least the websites that I looked at, because I did do a video on this channel, it's almost identical. We're talking brightness and nits. We're talking the resolution of the screen. I know this is Super AMOLED. I think the other one's going to be regular AMOLED, or I could be wrong about that, but at least that's what the rumored specs were when I looked it up. Again, I have to say rumors because it's not fact. I'm not fact-checking this stuff. I'm just looking up a lot of reputable tech websites to see exactly what this phone is going to have. Camera isn't going to be any different. The camera array, it's practically the same exact phone, but what happens is Samsung always come out, most carriers come out with a phone every year to replace the old one and to keep up face for people to want to buy the next thing. This phone is going to probably have updates until at least Android 13 or Android 14 or so. So when you look at the amount of OS updates and just software updates the A52 gets alone, this isn't really the A53 5G isn't an upgrade to you in particular. If anything, you'll be downgrading features like the lack of a headphone jack and the fact that they're lowering your fast charging. So if 15 watts might take an hour to charge your phone 50%, 30 minutes will do it with a 25-watt charger. And as you use phones, like if you're using a phone, it's on a charger, you're on your headset, however you decide to normally use it, you will noticeably notice that it's going to be a substantially slower charge. Let's put this in perspective. The what's that phone called? The OnePlus N100, I think, has like an 18-watt fast charger. Let's put that in perspective. There are or the N200, I believe, supports 18 watts. Phones that are half price will have faster, more efficient charging than the Samsung A53 5G. And again, they're doing that with that price tag to kind of get people to be like, well, you know what? If you want the next best thing, you're going to have to cough up a little bit more money, which I do understand why companies do that. It's just, to me, it just doesn't make sense to lower specifications for the previous, when we know what the previous model has. But I suppose the average person may not know. So this video is for those that already own an A52. Guess what? If you already have this, an A53 5G is not an upgrade. Not even visually is an upgrade. We're talking screen quality. It is not an upgrade at all. If you're a person where you're trying to wait for the A53 5G to drop the carriers and you're still curious about the A52, guess what? If you're using it under Metro by T-Mobile, the insurance is $6 a month. And to replace the phone is $120 through an insurance deductible because it's on tier 4, just for those that are curious about that. This phone is just fine. I love this phone. Of course, I do have better Androids out there, but I'm one of those people where I like using phones under my carrier, whoever I'm with, and I could never suggest something to you guys with conviction if I review something and don't even have the decency to use it or use it for my everyday lifestyle. But anywho, I'm not trying to make this video be all long and drawn out. Yes, this phone is worth it in 2022, I'm sorry, we're in 2022. I do think this phone is worth it. It's called the A52 5G. I don't think you can go wrong with this particular device. It's awesome. It does a job. It plays games like Black Desert Mobile. Actually, here. I'm currently playing Pokemon, Black Desert, Call of Duty, and over here we have The Walking Dead, Our World. And I also was playing Albion Online, if you can see it right there. So it does allow me to play a lot of the games that I want to without any stutter or lag or minimal stutter and lag. And for those that just, like I said, you're looking for something affordable that has software updates that Samsung actually cares about and won't just discard after 1 year, A52 5G all the way. Anywho, that's the video. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.